Music release assets. This is the content that you need gathered before you even think about releasing your music, setting a release date for whatever music you have coming out, whether that's a single, that's an EP, that's an album. You need to gather certain content assets so you can promote your music in a strategic manner and see the results that you want and reach your goals. So what I see with these artists is that they get a song finished and they're really excited about that song, and so they are very excited to release the song. However, for those that don't know, it doesn't matter how good your song is. If you plan on self-promoting it, releasing it, especially online, and you don't have the proper content to go about promoting it, your song will go unheard. It will go undiscovered. And the reason for that is because there's music being released every day. There's people promoting their music every day, thousands, millions from all over the world. And so you are competing with them for attention. And that's why I will tell you right now that the content that you use to promote your music, which I like to call bait, because when you are trying to promote your song, which is obviously people need to hear your music, you need a visual piece of bait to capture that person's attention, that viewer's attention, and so they click, whether it's your ad or it's your post, and then they listen to your song or they check out your profile, follow you. You need visual content to capture people's interest. So that's why your song it's not the only piece to the puzzle. And so your content that you use to promote that song has to be just as much quality as the music itself. It's very important. And it's the number one problem that I see with artists that I work with, is that they think they just could make their music and release it and it's going to be discovered. So we're going to start with number one, is obviously the artwork that goes behind the track, the song, the album, the EP. That's a no-brainer for a lot of you, but a lot of artists, they rush past this because I believe a lot of you are so eager to get your music out there to the world that you forget that, once again, I'll say the content is almost just as important as the music, because it's what captures people's attention. It's the bait that you put out there and go, hey, look at me, notice me. And so the artwork. I believe that as soon as you're done with your song, there's most likely there's meaning behind the song. There is a story, hopefully, that goes behind that song. And you should think of images that can capture the meaning of that story, right? And whether you're going to create your artwork or not, that's totally up to you. But whoever does, you should do more than just go, hey, this is the name of the song, create some artwork. You should, let them hear the song. You should tell them about the vibe of the song. Think of some images that they could put into it. You should put in thought for what design you want to go behind your artwork, and it should tie into the actual story of the song and the feel, the vibe, and everything like that. So do put in more work into what your artwork is going to be. And like I said, make sure that it captures that vibe that you're trying to portray for that song that you're releasing. Okay, so that's a no-brainer. Now, the next topic is something that artists really have a hard time accepting, and that is the video content that goes behind promoting your song. And I'm not talking about a visualizer, we'll talk about that in a second, which is video content, but an overall music video. So obviously you should know that content is king when it comes to promoting anything online. This is not just for music, this is for products or anything. If you are online trying to promote your music, which is, that's your product, that's what you're trying to sell, that's what you're trying to get people to buy into, then content is king. Now, the king of content is video. So you need some good video aspects to go into the promotion of your music to capture people's attention and to use as bait to get people to buy into you. And so a music video is always going to be king. Now, I know a lot of you artists, when you think of music video, it stresses you because you think, it's big, it's going to cost a lot of money. And yes, this can be true, but not always. And it's getting easier to be able to film your own videos, edit your own videos every day with this editing software such as Adobe Premiere. That's not hard to use. And even with that, in your local area, I'm sure you could find people that have businesses where they are filming these type of music videos and they're not charging too much. Another option that you can opt towards is actually getting like a lyric music video made. And so when it comes to content, if you're working with a limited budget, I suggest that you check out Fiverr.com. I'm actually a freelancer on Fiverr. I do offer music marketing mentorship on Fiverr. And if you need to get some content made and you want some quality content made and you don't have a big budget, this is probably one of the best options, unless you know a freelancer, unless you know somebody that could create it for you and will give you a good price. Right, so whatever budget that you are working with, and when you're done with you're making your music, you got to know that you're going to need some type of budget. And so whether this is going to be for your advertisements, because you're going to need exposure, because organic reach is going down on social media, Facebook, on Instagram, and even YouTube. It's just hard to reach people without having that extra push that paid ads gives you. You're also going to need the budget for the content made if you don't know how to make it yourself. Now, if you are pretty tech savvy, or if you know how to edit, if you do graphic design, or if you're willing to learn, then YouTube offers all the tutorials on these Adobe programs. And so there's really no excuse for you guys that don't have the budget to get this content made. That's not an excuse, because you could learn how to do it yourself. I would rather hold my music until I got that content than releasing it without it and just hoping that somebody's going to discover it. That's the worst thing you could do, is hoping somebody's going to discover it, because that's not how things work right now. And I don't think that's how things will ever work in this independent music industry, where now the artist has the power to self-promote themselves. Okay, so music video, back to the most important piece of content is that music video. You can opt in for a lyric video, and this should capture the whole song. Okay, this should be what you post on YouTube, and this is what you're going to break down into pieces to make teasers, possibly a visualizer. This is what you're going to be using as bait that you're going to, be putting in front of people, hopefully by advertisements that you're targeting the right way. We're not going to go into that, but to capture people's attention. And just to mention, most of the artists that I work with, they will go as far as actually getting artwork for their track. They know they need video content, so they'll opt in for a visualizer, which is, for those that don't know, a music visualizer is like the best 1 minute, 15 seconds of your song that you're seeing artists use for their advertisements, whether that's their story ads. If you're going through Instagram, I'm sure you see artists that are promoting their music, their stories. There's a bunch. Like I said, there's a lot of competition. It's really saturated, especially in the hip hop genre, but a lot of them are using visualizers. Now, back to Fiverr.com, you could get a visualizer made for as low as $5. And this is definitely a piece of the puzzle when stacking your content, but this is not the whole nine. I wouldn't rely on just a visualizer and just go, I'm set. And majority of the artists that I work with, they know they have to have artwork. They'll get that. And then they know they need some type of video content, and they'll get that. They'll get a visualizer, and then they think they're ready. And then they're ready to throw money at Facebook or Instagram for paid ads, and then wonder why they're not seeing results. And it's because they don't have the puzzle built. They're just gathering little pieces, and it's incomplete. And they're jumping and releasing their music. They're excited. They think that this track is going to be discovered on its own without that push, and that's just majority of the time not going to happen. We already mentioned the artwork. We mentioned the music video. Then there's the visualizer. Then there's the teaser of the video, which what I like to do is listen to the track and break in and figure out what's the most exciting part of this song. Like, what's the best part of this song? The best 15 seconds for stories, IG, Facebook stories, the best 1 minute for the news feed, and then make clips of those. And that's what we'll use as a teaser. And if you're going to be using that to send traffic to Spotify or to your smart link, then you want to make sure that you include out on Spotify or out on whatever platform that you're going to be trying to send traffic to, as well as a release date. Because this is like the bait, like I said, that you're going to be dangling in front of people going, listen to my track. And this is also giving them a little bit of a taste of what's in store. Next would be your social media posts. So when you strategize your music release, hopefully you are planning to start promoting it a couple weeks at least in advance, building this buzz, or rather releasing your music and then just thinking, what do I do now? Now it's time to market it. That's not the way to go. And think about a movie. Think about movies that get released in theaters. Do they ever just get released? No. So, that would be a waste of making that move. You got to build a buzz. And that goes the same for music. You need to get people interested in it. You don't just release it and then think about marketing. You think about marketing and your strategy well beforehand. So social media is obviously big for you musicians, whether that's going to be Facebook or that's going to be Instagram, whatever platform your target audience is on. You need to think about the posts that you're going to be posting to people to build this buzz from your followers, or whether you plan on advertising your posts and trying to reach cold audiences and get them interested. You need to put some thought on the posts. So I suggest obviously thinking about what posts you're going to be putting in your stories, because stories are very popular right now, and then obviously in your news feed, and then even think about going live, right? So live gives you the best engagement on both of those platforms, Facebook and Instagram, and going live and making announcements, that's considered a post, and that's something you guys should utilize, as well as the other news feed and the stories. And so some of the things I see artists that are doing their music releases successfully are they'll go as far as make memes. They will take video clips of funny videos and then put their song behind it, as long as the song kind of fits like the theme or kind of fits the vibe of the video clip. They will capture video of them recording the song or talking about the story that goes behind the song. And you guys got to remember that the story is everything. Like, people buy into stories. So, they want to know like what story goes behind this song. Like what influenced you to create it? Maybe stories that went behind, like, you actually creating it, whatever it is that has to do with the song, they want to hear about it. So you could create video clips of that and then use that to build a buzz for the actual release of it. But you should be posting every day and not just posting your artwork. You don't want to be spamming, just posting the same thing, because that will annoy people that are following you and possibly get them to unfollow you. So you want to keep it like unique. You want to change up the post. And if you are, worried about creating posts and what to do, you just need to start by just filming yourself. So when you're recording your song, get some pictures of you recording the song, maybe some video clips of the song, video clips of you in the studio listening to the songs. That's all content that you could use before releasing your song to kind of build a buzz for it. Like I said, you could go live. If you want to actually create images that builds a buzz, like a countdown or something like that, you could use platforms like Canva, and you could create images for free. If you're having a hard time creating some content, like you're stuck, you don't know what to do, see who's doing it successfully. See how people in your genre are introducing their music. And I'm not talking about the ones that have these massive followings, the mainstream artists. I'm talking about if you independent artists that are doing this independently and self-promoting themselves with the most success. See what they're doing, see what content they're releasing, and then don't copy them, but just get creative from there. That will give you that motivation, that inspiration to kind of move forward. So, this might seem like a lot of work, but that's because it's a lot of work to build yourself up as an artist, to gain this following, to build a fan base. You better believe. And so this is going to really dictate whether you want to make this a hobby or if you actually want to make music your business. And so trust, it's going to be hard. It's hard for any business to go online and to build a brand, and it's similar. So spying on the competition is big. Next are going to be, if you're going to be thinking about like your landing page. So obviously your smart links and pre-save links. So if you're trying to do a pre-save campaign, you should have that all ready. All these things ready. So doing all this and getting all this preparation ready, it's going to make your job easier once your release date comes. So assets first, marketing strategy next, and then announcing your release and building the buzz. So I'm going to end it with that. For those that don't know, my name is Jay Jonas and this is Beethoven. If you are new here, please subscribe. If you're listening to this on a podcast, this is my first episode. You guys, I'm going to be releasing new episodes weekly, and I look forward to updating you on the latest tips and tricks on how to release your music. It will tie into branding and even monetization ideas, but the core is releasing your music in a strategic manner and doing it professionally. And that's going to be what will dictate whether you're building your following, building your brand, and making progress with your music